Students, class 9th, Assalamu alaikum. A few of you have asked for the summary of Unit 5, the Medina Charter. I'll explain the lesson to you once again and then send in the summary to you. I'll read the summary to you and hopefully it will be understood by you in a better way. The Medina Charter is basically the set of rules that were created at that time by Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they were so authentic and useful that today in the UN Charter these rules have been implemented. Let's start the lesson. It has a mind map which is peaceful coexistence. Our main aim, the theme of this chapter is that peaceful coexistence was important for religious harmony, freedom and safety, love and peace, patience and tolerance, humanity and justice. All these points together are the gist of the lesson, that is the Medina Charter. These are the bases of this charter, and I'll now continue with the lesson and how it started and when and why the charter was made and how it got implemented in the UN Charter. The Prophet ﷺ found different communities in Medina when he migrated from Mecca to Medina. They were the faithful followers of the Prophet ﷺ, the new converts, Ansar, Jews, and the idolaters. It was difficult to live in such community in peace, so the Prophet ﷺ wanted to create harmony among the people of Medina, and for this purpose, Prophet ﷺ abolished the tribal distinction and grouped the inhabitants of Medina under one general name, Ansar. It was essential for building an Islamic empire. Prophet ﷺ wrote a charter which is known as the Medina Charter in the history. Through this charter, all the sections became one community. It was told that you should defend each other against an attack from the enemies. Religious freedom was given, and bloodshed, violence, and murder were considered unlawful or were prohibited. The importance of the Charter revealed from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by UN in 1948. In this declaration, many clauses were taken from the Charter and were copied. It shows that Islam is the religion of peace and it gives safety to human beings. Now, the most important thing of this chapter is that whatever teachings our Holy Prophet ﷺ gave, they were so good, they were so nice for the community that they were later on added to the Human Rights Charter of the UN. I'll explain it further. The Prophet ﷺ had basically found different communities in Medina when he had come from Mecca, when he had migrated. They were the faithful followers of the Prophet, the people who had come with him, the new converts, the people who had freshly converted to Islam, Ansar, Christians, Jews, and the idolaters, the idol worshippers. It was difficult to live in such a community in peace because there was conflict of opinion. So the Prophet ﷺ wanted to create harmony and peace among the people of Medina, and for this purpose, Prophet ﷺ abolished or finished the tribal distinction and grouped the inhabitants of Medina under one general name, Ansar. Ansar is the people who sacrificed. It was essential for building an Islamic empire. Prophet ﷺ wrote a charter which is known as the Medina Charter in the history of Islam. Through this charter, all the sections became one community. It was told that you are supposed to defend all your community members, all the members of this charter. Now let's move on. The Prophet formulated a charter called Medina Charter through which all the communities were made a common nationality. Their nationality was one. Their religion may be different, but they were under one name. They were asked to defend each other. The Muslims as well as the non-Muslims were given religious freedom. Bloodshed, murder and violence were declared unlawful. In 1948, United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In this declaration, many clauses were taken and included from the Medina Charter. It shows that Islam is the greatest protector of human rights because Islam considers all men free and equal. Islam gives the right of safety to Muslims as well as the non-Muslims. Islam believes in the rule of law. Now, what is rule of law? That everyone is same, is equal in front of law, and whenever a person commits a crime, he is not given freedom or he is not let free because he is a Muslim. If he commits a crime, he will be punished. So this concept is what is being created in this chapter, Medina Charter. I'll move to the next page where the charter is, and I'll read a few of the points of the charter so that I can further explain it to you. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, the Medina Charter has been included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights because Medina Charter was basically about human rights. This charter was approved on the 10th of December 1948 and made public. There are 30 points in all. A few are being mentioned here. We are all free and equal. We are all born free. We all have our own thoughts and ideas. We should all be treated in the same way. Do not discriminate. These rights belong to everybody, whatever our differences are. We all have the right to live and to live in freedom and safety. Nobody has any right to hurt us or to torture us. We are all protected by the law. The law is the same for everybody. It must treat us all fairly. We all have the right to take part in the government of our country. We all have a right to lead a good life. Mothers and children, people who are old, unemployed, or disabled, and all other people have the right to be cared for. Education is a right. Primary education should be free. We have a duty to other people and we should protect their rights and freedoms. Now, it tells us how we should behave in a community. The beginning of the lesson is about the Islamic era and how Islamic era is being connected to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The lesson starts when Hazrat Muhammad migrated to Medina. This city was inhabited by different sections of people. Many different people were there. They were the faithful followers of Hazrat Muhammad who had abandoned the ties of kith and kin and followed him. They had left their close relatives and had come with him to Medina. They were known as Muhajirin or refugees. The new converts of Medina who had helped the Rasul through thick and thin were known as Ansar or helpers. Here the explanation of the word Ansar has been given as helpers. The other communities living in Medina were the idol worshippers and the Jews. In order to create harmony and cooperation, bringing one unity among all the people, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam first abolished the tribal distinction and grouped the inhabitants of Medina under one general name, Ansar or helpers. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that goodwill and support of all the sections of people were necessary for the creation of an Islamic state. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that tolerance was necessary when different communities lived together. With these objectives in mind, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam drafted a charter which is generally known as the Medina Charter. Now, here are some of the points of the Medina Charter, and then we will compare them with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All the communities signing the charter would form the common nationality. If any signatory of the charter was attacked by an enemy, others would defend him collectively. The Muslims, the Jews, and other communities of this republic should be free to profess their own respective religion and perform religious ceremonies. Individual and personal offences of trivial nature of any non-Muslim would be treated as such, and no general liability would fall on the community to which the offender belonged. The oppressed should be protected. Henceforth, bloodshed, murder, and violence should be haram or abominable, forbidden in Medina. All disputes should be referred for decision to Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Rasul of Allah. The importance of the charter lies in the fact that it announces the great principles of civic equality. Now, the theme or the basis of this lesson is civic equality. Everyone is equal under the eyes of law, and we are all treated equally. No one's rights are infringed. This principle can also be seen in the perspective of the creation of Pakistan. Our founder, Quaid-e-Azam, clearly told his people in 1947, at the time of creation of Pakistan, "You may belong to any religion, caste or creed. We are all equal citizens of one state." In 1948, the General Assembly of the United Nations unanimously together, adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The declaration proclaims the religious, personal, civic, political, economic, social, and cultural rights of human beings. The incorporation of the clauses of Medina Charter in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the UN shows that Islam is the greatest protector of human rights. Now, this is the theme of the lesson, that Islam is the greatest protector of human rights. I hope the summary I have explained has made the lesson easy for you. Hopefully, you'll be able to write a very good explanation of the lesson, the summary, summarize the lesson, and compare the Medina Charter with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. You'll find out that the main points of the Charter have been adopted in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I hope you like the summary. Please like the video, subscribe our channel, and please share it. Thank you.